Now that our VM is created and booted from the ISO, let's walk through the installation process. When the VM starts, you'll see a welcome screen. We're going to use arrow keys to select try or install Ubuntu server, and we're going to hit enter. Next, we're going to choose the language for our installation. In my case, I want it to be done in English, but you can choose whichever language you like. For the keyboard layout, since I'm using a keyboard with US keyboard layout, I will just leave it be. For those using different keyboard layouts, please change them by using the arrow keys. After that, we're going to choose the base installation. In this case, we're going to leave it at the default, which is Ubuntu server. Now this part is really important. If you don't get an IP address that starts with 192.168, that either means you're not connected to a local network or you need to configure your virtual network. So please make sure you're connected to a local network, or make sure you configure the virtual network if it fails to get an IP address. We're going to skip this proxy address because we're not going to use one. Now for this part, if the default Ubuntu mirror fails to load, you can manually enter a different mirror just in case the default mirror doesn't work. On the storage configuration screen, make sure to uncheck the option that says set up this disk as an LVM group. This will keep things simple for now. And we're going to complete our partition setup by pressing done and continue. Now this part is also really important because we'll use this user account that we create to access our server in the future. So please remember the username and password. Since we only need the basic Ubuntu version and we also don't have a license for Ubuntu Pro, we're going to select skip for now. On the next screen, make sure to check the box to install OpenSSH server. This will allow you to remotely and securely connect to your server later on. Finally, we're going to skip all of these featured server snap installation because we only want the minimum installation to be done. Okay, the installation will begin. If you're not connected to the internet, there will be problems, so make sure you're connected to the internet. But after a few minutes, you will have a fully functional Ubuntu server running inside your virtual machine. Okay, now that we've finished installing our Ubuntu server inside our VM, we're gonna click reboot now. Now you get this message that says failed unmounting CD-ROM mount. You can just ignore that and just press enter. And that's it. You've successfully created a virtual machine and installed Ubuntu server. You now have your own server running on your own computer. In the next video, we'll explore how to connect to your server, run basic commands, and start using it for real projects.